guys. In writing today, we are learning about figurative language. Figurative language. So figurative language means it's language that we use a lot of the time without even realizing it. It's a way for authors and normal people to express what they're feeling and to help you maybe better visualize or maybe better understand their emotions behind something. Or maybe it'll help you better understand how to visualize. So there is literal language and then there's figurative language. So if you've ever said or heard the word literally means like it's like you're not exaggerating at all. Literally means that's 100% the truth. So like for literal language here, literal language would be like if I said, I am cold. That person literally is cold, right? It's what they are. They're not exaggerating. They're not saying anything that would be untrue or anything like that. Figurative language would be like saying, I am so cold I could die. Okay, you're not actually going to die. It's not supposed to be taken literally. But when someone hears figurative language, they can kind of guess what that person means. If I say I am so cold I could die, that means, oh my gosh, I'm really, really cold. Turn up the heat or something. Another example of literal language would be like if I said, my sweater has white on it. That's literally what it has on it. It's got white, right? Figurative language would be like saying, that sweater has white on it that's as white as snow. It's not really, as white as snow, but it's really white, right? So that's the difference between literal and figurative language. You've probably learned about it in other grades. And so today we're going to talk about the different types. What you will need is your writing notebook. So if you need to pause the video right now and go grab your writing notebook, please feel free. So let's open to the next blank page in our writing notebook. And you're going to be taking a few notes on this throughout the next few days. So make sure you stay organized with it. Okay, so at the top of your page, you're going to write that we're talking today about figurative language. Please make sure you spell it right. Figurative, figurative language. Figurative language is language used that is not to be taken literally. We use it all the time. It's language used that is not to be taken literally. If you need to pause right now so that you can write that whole thing, please feel free. So now let's draw a line right here. Say these next few things that we're talking about are going to be all about figurative language. And I'm even going to put maybe like a box around figurative language up here so that I can know. All right, so our first one that we're going to write about, I'm going to put a 1 here, are similes. Okay. Similes, and it doesn't sound the way it's spelled, S-I-M-I-L-E-S. Similes are phrases that compare to nouns using like or as. If you need to pause the video right now, to write down this definition, please feel free. So some examples of, or an example of similes, we'll work with more in just a little bit, but an example of a simile is, let's write down EX, for example. You are as brave as a lion. This is a phrase that people actually do use a little bit because lions in like stories are always known as like the brave ones, which is why in Wizard of Oz, you know, it was kind of ironic that that lion was not brave. So in this sentence, there are, let's look at the subject first. The subject here is you. You are as brave as a lion. What is it saying this person is? What noun is this saying this person is? It would be saying the noun lion. Now, the reason why I say two nouns is because if I just have the sentence, you are brave, that's not figurative language at all. That's literal language. So similes are a type of figurative language when you're comparing a subject noun to another noun. So you're saying you are as brave as a lion. That would be an example of a simile. Let's go on to the next one, number 2. That would be metaphors. metaphors. So metaphors compare two nouns without using like or as. So you're saying something is something without putting like or as there. So words that you're going to look for would be like, look for the word is. If someone says this person is this other noun, look for are because that's a form of is. Look for am, was, were. All these are different words that it might say if they're using a metaphor. Not always, but if you can kind of, it's not always the word is that you're going to see. So I could say like, he is a couch potato. I could say, you are a couch potato. I am a couch potato. He was a couch potato. You were a couch potato. See how all these are kind of saying the same thing, but these are all actually, I know they don't look like it, but these are all forms of the same word. So just be aware of that. So an example is I could say, let's put an EX here, for example. You are my sunshine. And let's underline the two nouns here. Here's our subject. What is it comparing you to? Sunshine. Of course, when someone says you are my sunshine, they're not literally your sunshine. That just means that you make them happy. And the last figurative language that we're going to talk about today is called hyperboles. And that is not spelled like it's supposed to be either, or like it sounds either. Hyperboles, hyperboles. Hyperboles are vast, big exaggerations. Pause if you need to. They're vast exaggerations. So for example, you could say, I am so hungry, I could eat a horse. I know that this is figurative language because look, no one's actually going to eat a horse. But if you hear this, you know that this person is super hungry. If I just had I am so hungry, that would be literal. There's nothing not literal about that. The person just is hungry. But if I say I am so hungry I could eat a horse, of course you can't literally eat a horse, but that just means you're super hungry, right? If I say you are my sunshine, of course that person isn't literally sunshine. They just make you happy. If you're saying you are as brave as a lion, not really a lion, they're just really brave like one. So all of these things are example of figurative language because they're not to be taken literally. It's important that we know figurative language because, like I said, authors and us, we use it all the time. It's important that when you see this kind of phrase in a story, that you know, oh, okay, that person doesn't actually mean, that person is not actually going to go eat a horse. So we're going to be talking about figurative language for a while. So let me pause this video and get me situated so that we can do a little bit of a sort. All right, so here we have the different things that we've talked about today. We've talked about similes, and you should have your notebooks out for this so I can help you with it. We've talked about similes. We've talked about metaphors. Those are the ones where you're saying this person just is this thing, whereas similes are saying this person is as blank as this, or they are like a blank, right? Hyperboles are those that it's just exaggerating. It's a big exaggeration. And literal language is it's just examples of things that don't have figurative language in it. They should be taken literally. So let's do a little bit of a sort here. If I have this sentence, the classroom was a zoo. Now I know that this is not literal language. I know that because the classroom's not actually a zoo, right? That's not to be taken literally. This just means that the classroom's crazy, right? Now, it's saying it was a zoo. Now remember, was is just another form of is. It's saying this classroom is this. So this is going to go here with metaphors. It doesn't have like or as. It just has, it says it was a zoo. Okay, that's going to be a metaphor. Yes, it's an exaggeration, but it would be better fit under metaphor because it's comparing those two nouns. I've told you to clean your room 1,000,000 times. Anyone's parents ever said something like this? We say this kind of stuff all the time. So on this one, I see my subject here. It's not really saying that person is something else, right? It's just saying, I've told you to clean your room 1,000,000 times. Now I know that it's not literal language because, let's be honest, probably haven't told this person 1,000,000 times. But what this means is they've told them a lot. So what would this go under? It should go under hyperbole. That's an exaggeration. Next one. If I can't get that outfit, I'll die. Maybe you've said something like this as well. This is, again, if I look at that subject here, is it saying that person is something else or like something else? I also know that this person isn't actually going to die if they don't get an outfit. This is another example of a hyperbole. Let's look at this one. The child was very angry. Here's my noun, the child. The child was very angry. It's not saying the child is something else. It's just giving an adjective to go with the child, not a noun. If I said the child was as furious as a whatever, then that would be different. But this is just saying the child was very angry. That's an adjective. So this is an example of literal language. That's not figurative language at all. Okay. He is as skinny as a toothpick. I see my subject here. Let's see, as, but let me make sure this is not literal language. If someone's as skinny as a toothpick, obviously they're not as skinny as a toothpick, but that just means they're really skinny, right? So this is definitely not literal language. This, because it's got that as there, has got to be a simile, okay? But I did want to show you on the back here, I wrote, he's as skinny as a toothpick. This means the same thing. I changed that he is to he's. If you see contractions like this, apostrophe S, that in this case means he is as skinny as a toothpick. So even though we don't see the word is, we know it's there because of that apostrophe S. So again, this is going to go with simile. That dog is very energetic. I see my noun. This doesn't have another noun. You're saying something's energetic, you're just describing it. I could say I'm energetic. I could say you're energetic. That's an adjective. I'm not saying this dog is as energetic as an Energizer bunny. Or I'm not saying this dog is an Energizer bunny. I'm just saying they're energetic. This is going to go under literal. He is dancing like a monkey. Here's my subject. Here's another noun here, monkey. That's a thing, right? Let's see, like. This person isn't really dancing, same way a monkey would, but they're probably dancing crazy. So I know that this is not literal language. Because of that like there, this is going to go under simile. Two more. He is a couch potato. Here's my subject. Here's another noun. I don't see like or as. I'm comparing these two things without like or as. This is going to go under metaphor. I have one more. You are as sweet as sugar. You is a noun. Sugar is a noun. I'm comparing those two things using as. So this is going to go under simile. But this was another one I wanted to show you. I could say you're as sweet as sugar. Notice how I have that apostrophe there? That Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is the same thing as you are. So keep those kinds of contraction things in mind as you do your assignment for writing today. Okay, so we've done our sort together. Please make sure that you watch the tutorial on how to finish the assignment before you actually do it. It's a quick 3.5 minute one. And then once you've watched that tutorial, go ahead and do your assignment to the best of your ability. We will go over it together in our group time. All right. Thank you guys.